Hello, and welcome to Anywhere and Everywhere News. Now, this is my second installment in the show, or technically my first real installment, since my last video was just an introduction to what I was doing. In case you have not seen my last video, I'd advise you to check it out, but pretty much it was just informing you that this series that I'm doing is a challenge from my friend. His account name is Yoga Balls Huge, and instead of an S after balls, that would be a Z. So check out his account. It's a challenge to see which one of us can make a better news show. And his is called News Show. And since you have clicked on here, you probably know my name is Anywhere and Everywhere News. I am filming from a bunk bed because it is Anywhere and Everywhere News. So yeah. So let's get started today. With the news this week, on Monday, Taylor Swift had her music removed from Spotify, and, well, people got upset. She removed it, and Spotify sent her a message saying, "We want you to stay, 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 because, baby, it's a love song, baby, just say yes." And Taylor's agent had no comment at that current moment in time. But later, Taylor remarked that we need to fight to get paid what it, meaning her music, is worth, and that is why it is no longer on Spotify. And people are upset, like I said, but honestly, I don't know why, because I'd be more upset if it stayed on. But that's just me. And by now, you've probably heard about Alex from Target, and millions of girls around the world scream, "Oh, it's totally fine, and it's cool, because he's so hot." And that just leaves the guy saying, "Well, that's not fair. I'm hot too." And obviously nobody cares. Or that could just be me. I'm not sure. And also, during the voting earlier this week, a man, he was searching on the internet for the names of dead people. And he found 21 of them. So he went in to vote, dressed in one pair of clothes. He left. He came back in another pair of clothes and claimed to be a different person. He did this 21 times before he was caught. He claimed that it was to prove a point, which might be true, and his point was probably, "I was sick on April Fool's Day, so I'm going to try to pull a prank now." And it's not a bad one in my opinion. Sure, he got caught, but it's a pretty good prank. And also, this week, a woman accused a neighborhood dog of trying to have a sexual relationship with her. And, well, she took the case to court. And so, naturally, the court had to ask the dog, "Really? Did you really want to have a relationship with this woman? I mean, do you find her attractive or something?" All the dog said, with what looked like a smile, he stuck his tongue out and said, "Woof." So, he'll probably be in the pound for a while. But you never know. Now, it's time for a sponsor. As you probably saw on the camera, I flipped a page there. It is because I'm using a composition notebook. I use them to write all my ideas down. So, yeah. It's where I have all my ideas for making fun of the news from. Very great notebooks. Kind of expensive at some places. Depends on where you buy them from. But they're great notebooks. Now back to the show. Seniors around the globe, mainly this nation, are searching for a good college here in the U.S., and the rankings from about the state's educational systems and which colleges are the best have been released. And once again, Alabama has been ranked 49th worst in the United States, educational system-wise. Says one Alabamian, "Who cares? At least we're above two others." And that just shows the point that we were making. And also, you've probably heard the Christmas music that is now on the radio and in some stores that are playing it. And so this year at Thanksgiving, we'll be giving thanks that it didn't start even sooner. If you know what I mean. It's annoying. And earlier this week, a mine owner refused to go in and get the bodies of some of her workers that had died in the mine due to some collapse or something had happened. And so, naturally, the families were upset. But, she probably just told the ones, "Just keep on digging and don't mind the dead bodies." People usually hate puns, but I think that was a pretty good one. I mean, pretty punny to me. Maybe not. Okay. And also, this week, in the movie box office, at the number 1 spot, we have the number 1 movie in America. And in the number 2 spot, we have the number 1 movie in America. And in the number 3 spot, we have the number 1 movie in the world. I'm not sure how this works, but apparently it does. So that's about all we have there. And also, a lot earlier this week, 2 men got in an argument about taking guns away. Gun control. Always been a giant argument. And so, one man said, you know what, we should just settle this with a fight. And the other replied, no, we need to use diplomacy. Let's talk this over. The pen is mightier than the sword. But apparently, neither that man nor his pen were mightier than a double-barrel shotgun. But that's just the way things go here in the United States. America and everything. You know. And so, also, this coming up story is one of my all-time favorite news stories ever. It is the Banana Bandit. And here's how it goes. One day, a man drove his truck into a gas station and crashed through the wall. He leaped out of his vehicle. He grabbed a group of bananas. He tore one off. Then he ran away on foot. And the police arrived. And they started to investigate. And they discovered that the truck had been purchased 4 hours earlier to the crime. So, pretty much from that, they would know who the truck belonged to, and who had sold it to them, where they lived, pretty much everything about the guy. And he had paid in cash, too. So don't try to tell me this guy was hungry, so he stole a car. No, he paid for the truck in cash, and just stole a banana. It's probably another April Fool's prank, but I wasn't sure, because it happened in March, you know. And then, also, get this, the police showed up an hour later after the 911 call had been made, reporting the stolen banana. Sounds a bit fishy to me, you know. But actually, I really don't have a joke here, because the crime is just so stupid within itself. But, you know, it just sounds weird to me. Actually, you know, I think the man might have just had a case of March Madness. I said I didn't have a joke, but I just thought of that one. It's pretty good, don't you think? Okay. Oh, and did you hear that Obama finally admitted that he has done some things wrong in his presidency? Yeah, don't worry, nobody did. Also, after the voting, President Obama vowed to get things done and that he would work with the Republicans. And I'm just going to stop him right there and call BS, because that's not going to happen at all. Democrats and Republicans, it's completely different parties. And also, a woman got irritated this week because she had to dress as Santa Claus in a photo op in December for children. Which she said it was because, and I quote, that her husband opened his fat mouth and volunteered her, and he had no right to be in her business. Which, that just sounds like a typical, we're about to get a divorce right there. So, that relationship probably won't last. But that's not really my place to talk about. Anyway, that is all the news that I have for this week. But don't forget to tune in next week when I have another segment of my news show. And also, just to clear things up, as the challenge that I was talking about earlier, we have decided the winner will be whoever gets more likes on their video. And so, after you finish watching this, go watch his news show, and then give whichever one of us you liked more a like, so that we can tell which one you liked more. And sure, you could give both of us a like if you can't really decide, but if I were you, I'd give me a like. And don't forget to share this on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you've got, email, however you want to share this, just share it. And also, check out some of my other videos. They're not in this particular news show criteria. They're animated cartoons that I do. all of them added together probably averaged about 22 seconds each, so they're not long at all. If the kind of humor, it's sort of sketchy throughout, then the punchline comes at the very end. So just wait that 20 seconds, then you'll hear the punchline, and you can laugh. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and just stay tuned next week when I bring you another segment, and hopefully the news will be even stupider, and the jokes will be even easier to make, because this is really fun. I'm just going to do this weekly until I just don't feel like doing it, which might not happen. So yeah, thank you, and join me next week.